Welcome to Miss Martin Muses and More Letters. I'm very excited, Precious, because this is the first letter that I'm covering from the new and revised letters of J.R.R. Tolkien. Letter 148A. You can check out how these new letters are categorized in my review of the revised and expanded letters of J.R.R. Tolkien here. But let's jump into it. Letter 148A was sent to a Catherine Farrar, I hope I pronounced that correctly. She had a review of The Lord of the Rings and sent him a draft. This is part of his response. I was delighted that you stressed the morality. I think actually it is that which gives the story its realness and coherence, which my critics seem to feel, rather than any pictorial vividness. It was not planned, of course, but arose naturally in the attempt to treat the matter seriously. But it is now the foundation. For no reason whatsoever. I like what he has to say. Anytime we can get this kind of a glimpse into how Tolkien is viewing his own work, to me is just magical. And as always, I'm one of those that holds the position that when an author is telling you about how he views his own work, it's quite definitive. But that's a discussion for another day. Covered elsewhere. For me, the kernel is in Frodo's last words to Sam. I have been too deeply hurt. I tried to save the Shire, and it has been saved, but not for me. Okay, can we have just a moment of, oh my gosh, this story. I've read it so many times, but this stuff still gets to me. My goodness, the unbelievable friendship of Frodo and Sam, and the sorrow of Frodo at the end of all this. It has been saved, but not for me. It must often be so, Sam, when things are in danger. Someone has to give them up, lose them, so that others may keep them. All that I had, or might have had, I leave to you. Frodo gave up so much. Now, indeed, so did Sam, but as we see here, he gets his reward. He becomes Frodo's heir. And with Rosie, he has a happy, long life. But that's not for Frodo. Someone has to give them up, lose them, so that others may keep them. Then Tolkien comments, Bernadette refused to go to Lourdes for her own healing. I think that this is a very interesting insight into how Tolkien sees his own story and what he might see as applicable to what he is trying to say. Also, in a newly published letter, he goes into a great deal of detail about Bernadette and what that story means to him. But who is Bernadette? For those that are of a Catholic disposition, we know exactly what he means. He doesn't even have to describe it. He is referring to Saint Bernadette Soubirous. She was a French saint from the 19th century who allegedly, and I do say allegedly because it is not a matter of public revelation, but had a vision of the Blessed Virgin Mary when she was very young in Lourdes. It became a huge place of pilgrimage that even today gets like 10,000 people a day drinking from a spring there, praying the rosary, and getting a good deal of comfort. Particularly the sick go there for healing, spiritual or real. If you've been to Lourdes, you love Lourdes. But it wasn't for Bernadette. In fact, most of her life was suffering. She had asthma in the 19th century, so go figure. It wasn't a very pleasant life, and she ended up dying relatively young, I believe in her 40s. But after all the brouhaha died down from the apparition of the Blessed Virgin Mary, she became a nun and was not able to go for her own comfort or even to seek her own healing. She refused to go, and in many ways could not go. It was not for her, it was for others. So that is to what J.R.R. Tolkien is finding applicable to what he just said about Frodo. Morality gives the story its realness and coherence. And for him, the kernel is in Frodo's last words to Sam. I have been too deeply hurt. I tried to save the Shire and it has been saved, but not for me. And this is why everybody loves The Lord of the Rings, except for maybe a few people out there who don't have a heart. I love it. So tell me what you think. Tell me what I got right. Tell me what I got wrong or what I may have left out. Or maybe you have something to expand upon. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day. And be certain to just reread Lord of the Rings again.